All right, so we have a new episode of Legends and Leaders, and today it's great to have Roderick and Josh here. You guys are pretty interesting in this film space, what you're doing. You're trying to do something and tell a story that I think is an important story, blurs the lines of honesty and paranoia, which is two different pretty powerful concepts to put together into one. And you both had your own personal struggles you had to overcome to get to the point that you're at. So I'm excited to have you here and to break down your journey.
Glad to be here.
To be here. Thank you.
Awesome. So, just kind of going back to the beginning, how did your interest in film begin? How did you guys decide, like, hey, we want to go and build a company together and do something in this space?
Rod, you want to take that one?
Yeah, I start off. Well, I've always had a passion for film and a desire to create movies. I consider myself to be a late bloomer because I pursued a corporate career and I owned a couple other companies in the past, but that was always on the back of my mind that at some point, someday, I really wanted to give that a shot. So Josh and I, we had numerous conversations about exploring this particular field. We actually decided on the golf course that we were going to give this thing a shot. And we were fortunate enough to meet Aria Harrison, who is the writer and director of our current feature. We met her and had lunch with her in October of 2023, and things just sort of just took off from there. From October to April 1st, we had actually started our production. But so I was patiently waiting on the sideline for the right opportunity, and I always knew that the right opportunity would consist of landing the right script. And that if we were to successfully get our hands on the right script, that would be the roadmap for moving forward. Once you get the right script, you can recruit the right cast, and that kind of played a role in all the other pieces falling in line. But it was an interesting journey.
Yeah.
What about you, Josh?
Yeah, I would say, similar to him, I've been in corporate for the past 10 years, out of school. And I've always had a creative side to me. I've always been interested in, putting content together and telling stories and all those things. And so, like Rod said, we had always been looking for something else to do. Myself, even outside of corporate, always having projects on the side that I was interested in. And then when this opportunity came up, it was a no-brainer. So I was ready to go. But jumped right in and felt at home just because of the experience that I've had in previous endeavors. And it was also just really, really fun being able to, give people some opportunities that they may not have gotten otherwise. So just being able to put people in places to succeed is, what fueled me. And that's been one of the most fun parts about this whole process.
Hey, Ben, awesome. Another thing I would like to add to that is that I'm the type of person that enjoys exploring things that I have never done before. That really gets me off, and I get a rush and a high and an adrenaline flowing. So once we made that decision, it was like a 10 level at that point, and we just took off with it.
Yep.
So how did you find the right script?
It took a lot of patience, but Aria Harrison just happened to be have a relationship with one of my daughters. And I was actually at home one evening watching a movie on Peacock. And at the beginning of the movie, it stated that it was written by Aria Harrison and directed by Aria Harrison. And I was like, oh, wow, we know her. I decided to give her a phone call. And this is a true story. We decided to give her a phone call to meet us for lunch. And the rest is history.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like one of those just kind of happenstance situations. We just kind of the timing, everything fell in place, and we were able to connect and create something really, really special.
Mm-hmm. And why go the route of like psychological thriller?
Well, I would say for a couple of reasons. One, Ariel has, she has an expertise in the thriller side and just writing those stories is one of her favorite genres. But the other side is, especially in the African-American community, there's been a lot of psychological thrillers that have just captivated audiences. And that is actually one of the leading genres within our community in the past, I would say 4 or 5 years. And so seeing that as the right opportunity to just kind of keep giving people something new, something fresh, but still something that they're very interested in is, seemed like a no-brainer for us.
Makes sense. So, you both have had kind of your own interesting journeys, of stuff you've had to overcome. I think, Josh, you had some struggles in turn, like with believing in yourself, with self-doubt, and then you've kind of taken that and used it to empower people. Can you just talk a little bit about how you turned that experience into something that's a positive?
Of course, man, and I definitely got to give credit to Rod because he's one of the big dreamers, and he's not afraid to just jump out and do stuff. And when I'm partnered up with him, and kind of having that push and that motivator to just say, "Oh snap, we can actually do this. Let's stop thinking about it and let's just do it." Kind of helped me overcome that for sure. I have a lot of analysis paralysis in a lot of things I do. I like to have things perfectly lined out in my head before I pursue. And as you know, things aren't always perfect. So I rarely end up pursuing these things. And so just being partnered up with him was definitely, a big push for me. But yeah, man, we once you get it going, we don't stop. Like you said, we're just fueled by it. So it's fun. It's fun at this point.
And we feed off of each other.
Yeah.
We motivate each other. We push each other. Our goal is excellence. We strive for excellence, and we have a lot of fun working together and just enjoying the journey.
Absolutely.
That's awesome. So what's kind of like the overarching goal for like RodFather Productions? Like, where do you see this going?
Well, we feel like we're just getting started. We have 3 other projects in development at the present time, in addition to an animation project. So we have some really, really big things on the horizon that we're super excited about. And we believe the future is bright. And, we're going to produce some really, really high quality products in the future. In addition to promoting the one that we currently have. And we're going to always try to get the very best cast possible. We were really fortunate to land Taye Diggs from All American, Gail Bean from P Valley, and Snowfall. And then, of course, we had Joy Bronson from This Is Us, and Tristan McWiles from The Wire, among others. And so, we want to continue to, land high caliber stars to, to play and bring our movies to life.
And how did you get Taye Diggs? Like, how did you get such a great cast? I mean, it's, especially for a newer production company, I mean, there's a price tag that can come with some of these people.
That's the question of the year.
That's a good question, but it's all about presenting the right value proposition to them. And of course, timing has a lot to do with it. And so it was a combination of those things. And then, Taye had an interest in working with Gail. Gail was excited about the possibility of working with Taye. And so once we landed those two, it was just everybody else wanted to kind of join the party. But it was, you just have to have a good value proposition. And then hopefully if the timing works out, because Gail was extremely busy at the time. We were originally set to shoot this movie in the month of June. But because of her position with P Valley, we had to move it up to April. Then we had to get Taye's approval. And if they were not interested in working with one another, then this whole thing would have fell apart. But they were like team players. They brought a lot of energy and professionalism to the stage. And I believe Gail just gave us an Oscar-worthy performance, her and Joy, by the way. And they were just incredible. And they blew us away. And we just enjoy watching them perform every day for 12 hours a day. We were just glued to the set. But it was exciting, and we were fortunate to land everybody.
Yeah, I'm sure it's exciting watching the whole project come to life too, and like the processes of that. It's incredible.
It's crazy. Josh and I, we were hunching each other throughout the whole movie. Do you believe we actually doing this, man?
Right.
This thing is real. We making a movie. Yeah, but watching it come to life it's just a high. It's like that adrenaline rush, and it's addicting. Like I'm super excited about upcoming features that we plan to produce because it was just so much fun.
Oh yeah. Definitely. I mean, and also that creative side, Josh, you mentioned earlier. I'm sure
Yep.
it comes to life with all this.
Oh, of course, of course. Even just in we're going through the post production phase now, and I'm not sure if you're familiar, but that's just as much work as the production phase. And so, just being in that editing room with the director and just kind of figuring out what works, what looks good, making those decisions, thinking through things differently is definitely kind of feeding that creative bone that I have. So it's been fun.
That's awesome. So what do you think makes a great film? Like, what are you trying to accomplish in this film and make stand out that's going to make it great?
Mm.
I think it's definitely having the right script, making sure that it's captivating for the audiences, but also being in tune to what the audiences want to see. We can have our ideas of what we think we want, what we think looks good, but just having a good pulse on our community, on the culture, and producing something that people can relate to, people can see themselves in. This story follows a girl who has had a traumatic experience in a past relationship, and there's quite a few people out there who unfortunately have had those same experiences, and they can resonate with the film. And it's also entertaining. It's suspenseful. It keeps you on your toes, and you really don't know who's gonna be where at what time. And so all those things are just entertaining, and I think that's what makes that film amazing.
What do you think, Rod?
Well, I mean, I agree with everything Josh just echoed, but I'm going back to the script. You just got to have this magnetic
Mhm.
script, and if you're fortunate enough to get your hands on the right script, that's really the roadmap toward creating that magic, and then it's just a matter of bringing everything to life. There's a lot of scripts out there, and
Mhm.
not every script lines up. But if you could find that right script, then you have everything you would need to start creating magic.
Yep.
So you went to college, right? You graduated college, I think, a little later on, like around 40 years old. You already had
Yes.
some success before then. How important do you think it is now to have a college degree and to have that as part of like your backbone?
Well, you know what? That's kind of interesting, man, because I also own I started a nonprofit
Mhm.
foundation for millennials to help millennials gain traction into corporate America, because I discovered that 55% of African Americans with college degrees are making uh, uh, less than their counterparts, less than $60,000 a year, which would declare them to be underemployed. And I'm just not sure the role a college degree will play these days, because we were working with 50, 60, 70 Fortune 500 companies that were offering programs that did not require college degrees any longer. So I'm not sure if it will have the same impact that it had 10, 15 years ago.
Mhm. Yeah, I
Are
think
you, are
that
you
question
glad you did
definitely.
it?
Oh,
Excuse me?
Are you glad you did it though, or do you feel like what do you think
Well,
now?
well, well. Again, understand that I'm the type of person. I like to do things I never did before. I did it just because. Like the movies, it's just another chapter in my life. I have to explore, and so. But yes, to answer your question, I am glad that I finished it and completed, because my wife is a lawyer. My youngest daughter is a lawyer, and my oldest daughter has a corporate job with Delta, very educated. So I had to kind of like, okay, y'all, I got to go get a degree with all these degrees in my house.
What were you saying, Josh, before?
no, I was just going to say, that question depends on the individual. It's not really a blanket statement or answer for that question, just because everybody's different. Everybody has different goals, different dreams, different opportunities that are available for different skill sets. And a lot of skill sets don't necessarily require degrees, like Rod said, anymore. I know even with myself being in corporate recruiting for 10 years, I've hired several people who never had a college degree. And so, it really depends on your situation. One thing I can say about my college experience, though, is the network that I was able to build because of that was probably the most valuable thing that I received
Mm.
from being in college. So,
Huh.
um, connecting with different people, learning, how to communicate with people, learning how to do life with people, was something I gained from college. So I definitely, don't regret it and value it 100%. But
Yeah, I mean, I did it, and I thought I got a lot of good experience from there. Even though like I didn't feel like it prepared me for a path of entrepreneurship, it
mhm.
still was it was great, the business experience and the world of people you meet. So I definitely can agree there.
Where'd you go, Ben?
I went to YU, Shiba
Why you?
University in New York in the Heights.
Okay,
Okay,
cool.
cool.
Yeah, it was a good experience overall, I think. Um,
But
but yeah,
that is one of my biggest regrets, not experiencing campus life
yeah,
by going, getting a degree later in life. But other than that, I was glad that I was able to accomplish it.
Mhm.
yeah. I think it's important to accomplish if you can do it. It definitely adds a level of credibility.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. So, you guys now are you both working together. How do your skill sets complement each other? How do you find you work together, best?
Hmm. Like I kind of alluded to it before. He's the visionary. He has the big picture, and I just try to figure out how to make it happen. So, I we both have the same values, same foundation, same every baseline, and so we're able to not butt heads on the important things, which is always good and
Mhm.
healthy. But working together day to day, he might have a vision for one thing, I might have another vision, and we kind of talk through it. But we also, at the end of the day, we know we're on the same team. And so it makes it fun being able to share ideas, but also look at things from different perspectives, because I could be looking at, something from my perspective of, okay, well, we need to do this X, Y, and Z because of, this reason. And he has a whole nother perspective that I never even thought of. And so when he comes with his rationale, I'm like, okay, that kind of makes sense. I see why you're pushing back so hard. So it's also just been very educational for me. I can speak for myself on that, of just having different perspectives and being able to work through that together.
And, I would like to add to that because Josh problem solving skills is incredible. He's always cool, calm, and collected. So you don't create a lot of chaos on the set. And most of the time, 95% of the time, it will be hard to even recognize that he's in the midst of something heated that needs to be solved because of his demeanor and everything. But he's a master, an absolute master at solving problems and networking. And the way he used his platform, as he stated earlier, to provide opportunities for first timers on the set was the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. The opportunities that was given to individuals like our caterer. That was her first time catering for a production company, and that was her dream. And since then, she has provided services for 3 other productions since then. And so, but he utilized his network, brought in a host of interns, and it just kind of helped us to run a smooth operation from A to C. I mean, A to Z, with excellence being the standard. We made sure every I was dotted and every T was crossed every day. And yeah, so having a partner like that just kind of like give you the peace of mind of knowing you don't have to address every issue. I don't even have to know about every issue. In fact, I don't want to know about every issue
He doesn't.
because Josh is there. But it says a lot that you have a partner that you have that much confidence in,
Mhm.
that he can handle almost anything and put out fires the right way.
I appreciate that compliment.
We got it recorded too, right? So,
Right, we recorded that.
so you mentioned you guys are building this company, right? You've got a couple different projects in production. Where do you see like the long term vision for it? Where do you see the long term vision for both you guys building this?
Well, first of all, this is our first feature film, and we're new to this industry, so we're exploring the best practices for building a company and not just making movies.
Mhm.
And so we're in the process right now of learning, getting more educated, talking to consultants, and just discovering how we want to where we want to be at in the next 5 to 10 years. And so all that is still being ironed out at the moment, even though we do have some phenomenal projects on the horizon. But ultimately, we're trying to build a business and not just make movies.
Yeah. But I mean, to that point, and I was actually just speaking with a mentee about this not too long ago, but I personally try not to have those 10-year plans, 20-year plans, just because we're not in control of all of this, and I think when you kind of put that out there early and you get focused on that, you kind of miss out on the fun that you're having in the moment. And one of the things that Rod and I love is just how much fun we're having. And so we focus on what we have to do each and every day. We knock that out. We focus on the projects that we have at hand. And then whatever happens later on, that's in God's hands. But, we really want to enjoy this moment.
Hey, Ben, that's a generational statement right there.
That's me.
The older guy got a 10-year plan. The younger guy, I don't need a 10-year plan.
And I want you to ask him what's his 10-year plan, and then call us in 10 years and see how that worked out.
I was gonna ask how the age difference a little bit, how that plays into things, but I think we just found the answer out.
Nah, it works well.
Yeah, I am a goal setter.
Mm-hmm.
And, I do like having roadmaps and sort of kind of having a vision for how things are going to play out and potentially where we should line up at over the next 5 to 10 years as we continue to flesh everything out, get more educated about the industry, learn more, network more, and build our catalog. But it's just, and at the same time, have fun in the process. Like Josh said, we're having a lot of fun.
That's definitely good. Do you guys have anything else you want to add about the upcoming production? Because that was all the questions that I had.
Ooh, like I said, we're wrapping up post-production very, very soon. We expect to have something for the public in Q1, Q2 of next year. So we're excited just to have it out there and let everybody experience what we experienced and continue on with other projects that we have lined up.
What's the question regarding upcoming projects or this particular project?
Yeah, just where, what else you want to add in about this upcoming project?
Oh, this particular project.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just think that the cast did a phenomenal job, and the audience is really in for a delight to see Joy and Taye and Gail and Tristan, the way they performed and brought each character to life. It's just going to be phenomenal, as well as Michael and Christy. There are just so many dynamic scenes in the movie that the audience is really going to enjoy. We can't give it away, but man, this is some good stuff. Really great stuff.
I'm definitely excited to see, when it comes out and what you guys do together here. I appreciate you guys taking the time to do this and look forward to success.
All right. Thank you, Ben.
Appreciate
the invite.